So today we've got a wedding for around 300 people and none of the guests know that they're eating food that would have gone to waste or from the Real Junk Food Project. All this would have gone in the bin if it wasn't because of us saving it, and that's the point we need to get to of how do we prevent all this food from becoming waste in the first place, especially when we live in a world where more and more people are using food banks than ever before, and more children are going hungry in this country than ever before. Good. Yeah. So I'd been a chef across the world. I was about to get my citizenship in Australia, and in order to get your citizenship you had to go work on farms. And I went out to work on a couple of farms and I started seeing like the extent of food that had been wasted. Food were being fed to pigs and livestock that was perfectly edible for humans, and I'd seen all this poverty in areas of Sydney. I just said I'm going to create the Real Junk Food Project, I'm going to feed the world with all this food. So then I set up the Real Junk Food Project, and within a couple of days I opened up the world's first pay-as-you-feel cafe that uses nothing but surplus food. We have an operations kind of warehouse where on a daily basis we collect food that would have gone to waste from supermarkets, restaurants, wholesalers, allotments, farms, you name it.
I stand like a teapot. I stand like this all the time. I wouldn't say I didn't fully understand food waste, but I didn't understand or didn't know the magnitude of just how much food gets wasted. And everything that we collect would be thrown away. It's as simple as that. We did one day last week, I think there was 2.6 tonnes of food that we processed in one day. This one, for instance, they wouldn't sell it, a little bit scuffed, so people will just move past it and they will pick one up that looks that little bit better. The apricots, it's ripped, that is it. These, let's have a look. Nothing wrong with any of them at all. No reason why, other than they'll have had some new stock in, so it's straight in and out. The fridge that we've got, when you open it and you walk in and you look at what there is, you come into it and you go, wow, look at all this food. And then you actually process it and think, this is so wrong. This is so wrong. Not only is it damaging to the planet, but there's people out there that have nothing. And there's people on the streets that have nothing. And all this stuff is being thrown in the bin. Why can't they yellow ticket and sell it for a penny? You know, there's things like that. I just don't understand why they can't do it. There is no need for this much food to be available and it go to waste and go in the bin. There's no need for it whatsoever. It's wrong.
We deliver food into schools. It's around 20 schools a week, 4 crates of food per school. So we've got a load of stuff here that we save for our events, including our wedding that's coming up. And all this is stuff that would have gone to waste. This stuff isn't cheap. I know that the meat is probably about £30 a pack, and we had maybe hundreds of these come in. This is roughly around £36 a box. Some of it will be because it's gone past its best before, but it's still safe to eat, but they just cannot be sold. One reason one of these stores gives us this amount of food is literally because they don't have a cheese counter or a deli counter at their store, but this food still gets sent to the store. This isn't waste, this is things that cannot be sold, and we need to come up with some more kind of responsible practices of how we can deal with this stuff.
There's so many starving in the world when we are, you know, we're so plentiful in this country, we have too much food, there's too much waste, and we hope that this really, really helps to put the project in different realms so people are aware of it.
I mean, this journey to get to here, we've learned loads about it. I mean, I just assumed it was all food that was just on the cusp of going out of date, but to find out that so much of the food is intercepted or it gets thrown away because the shelves are already full.
It's been a year in the making. We've saved tons of food from going to waste. We're about to feed 280 people. We've got a barbecue going, a core buffet going, and hopefully there's about 1.2 tonnes of food. It's just about to get eaten and not go into the bin.
Well, I did my coals definitely. I got them at the right time so that we're now cranking, just as we need to be cranking. I think we need to be asking people, basically in government, to be looking at this waste, being able to sort of centralise it in a way and maybe put it into sort of, you know, into like schools, into the NHS, things like that. Being able to reduce that, because the thing is that there is no need for this to be going in the bin. There is no need at all.
Evening, everybody. Everything you've just eaten was going in the bin. Everything. So my name's Adam Smith and I'm the founder and CEO of the Real Junk Food Project. We're a completely environmental project that tries to focus and basically switch people's attentions away from the poverty angle of food waste, because I believe that we could feed all the poor people on the planet and all this food will still be going to waste. To date, we've done 5,000 tonnes. We've fed 11.9 million people worldwide with surplus food. We met a year ago. We came up with an idea of saying, could we feed 300 people at a wedding with nothing but surplus food and not tell them anything, reveal it at the end. We pulled it off, so thank you to these guys and thank you to you guys as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
My job rest. There's too much burden put on the food sector, including organisations like ourselves, to do something about it, where we need to be putting more pressure on the industry in terms of how much food is actually created and made and grown, how many animals are being slaughtered and put into plastic and whacked a date on it and then thrown straight into the bin because it's expired. We need to do something about it now. We all need to act, we all need to research, we all need to think more ethically, we all need to be more sustainable, because I can't single-handedly solve global food waste, but collectively we've fed something like 12 million people around the world. We all have to come together and do something. We have to, everybody. Otherwise, it may be just too late.